good.
All righty. Happy Friday. We made it.
Another week.
Very good stuff. Cool. Well, today we have a 2-part workout. We're looking at a dumbbell complex, okay? Meaning that we're going to work the 3 different portions of the clean and jerk with the dumbbell. So we'll work the movement of the deadlift or coming up off the ground. We'll work the hang into the actual clean. And then we will work on the receiving position and dip of the push jerk. So what this is going to look like is 5 sets total, okay? And what you're going to do is you will move 2 seconds, a 2-second pause, 1 inch off the ground. Okay, so we'll pause there, making sure that our proportions are right? We have a long, strong back, that we're pulling off the ground correctly. We'll pause at the knee. Okay, then we'll go into a 2-second pause at the mid hang position. Then a 2-second pause after we clean it in the squat. Then once we stand up, we'll go into a 2-second pause at the bottom of the dip, getting ready for that push jerk. Okay, and then we'll pause in the receiving position of that push jerk as well. So that'll be 1, and we're going to do that 5 times. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, what? We're going to drill these positions into your brain till you can't think of anything other than a clean and jerk.
Yeah.
You'll be cleaning and jerking everything you pick up.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, babe, can you get me that thing? And then Bernie's going to come over.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So that's what we've got here to kind of start off. For this, we want to use a nice moderate load. Okay, this is not a strength piece. This is a skill piece. We're kind of just reiterating all of the little movements and positions that we want you to find in the clean and jerk. Okay.
If we were doing this with a bar, it would literally either be a PVC or an empty bar.
Barbell. Yeah.
So take that into consideration.
Yeah. This should be something very light. Again, if you have matching dumbbells that are light enough to do so, please do that. If you have a broomstick, cool. You can use that instead of the dumbbells. Really, it doesn't even have to be weighted. It can be a stick that looks like a barbell.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm just looking for it.
No, I like your searching. Okay.
There you
go. There it is. Yeah, so perfect. We got PVC pipes. Okay. So again, this doesn't have to look like a weighted movement at all, especially if we are still trying to find those positions. Totally fine to do this empty broomstick and really dive into it. I bet you'll be sore from that.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I'll be sore just trying to remember when to pause.
After that, we'll go into sandpaper. Sandpaper is an AMRAP 12, meaning we will work for 12 minutes total. Okay, everyone's working for 12 minutes. How this is going to go is it's an ascending rep scheme. So you'll add 2 reps to your weighted movement every single time you get back to it. So it'll go 2 double dumbbell cleans, and then you'll go into 2 double dumbbell thrusters, and then you'll go into 30 double unders or 45 singles. Okay. That's kind of its own little triplet. Once you get back to your dumbbells, this time you're going to go 4 and 4. And then the rep scheme of the jump rope stays the same. You're still going to do 30 and 45. Next time you get to it, 6, 6, 8, 8. Okay, you're just going to keep going until time runs out. There's no, once you get to a number, you're done, right? Just keep going. And then once the 12 minutes hits, you'll be done, and then we'll count up your reps. So pretty simple. The only thing that's going to happen, which we know with these kinds of workouts, is this first portion, right, probably until you get to about 6 or 8, is going to feel really good. You're going to be like, whoa, I'm going to get so far. Okay, that's like the buy-in to the rest of the workout. Okay, it's like we are gonna move very fast. It's gonna go by quick, but your heart rate is gonna shoot up very, very fast. And by the time you get to 6s and 8s, okay, that's when you're gonna kind of be like, whoa, I need to slow down. So we don't want that to happen. We want you to work at a pace during the 2s and the 4s and the 6s and the 8s that you're gonna be able to maintain during the 10s maybe or the 12s. So if that means you should be able to go unbroken, honestly, until about 10. You should be able to do, definitely 6, 8 of these dumbbell thrusters and cleans unbroken.
Yeah.
Taking a break between those two movements is totally fine. You don't need to go into a squat clean right after. I mean, these first couple ones you definitely can. But as we get into those little bit higher numbers, just kind of slow it down. That jump rope is going to spike our heart rate as well. So just remembering breathing today is going to be our most important aspect. The rest of it will just kind of always our most important, honestly. We never want to die. All right, Bernie, just looking at it right now, do you have any questions?
Oh, no.
You're all good?
Oh, yeah. Well, good's a relative term, man.
Don't look so excited, Bernie. Come on now.
All right, we're going to go into a warm-up. We're going to go 8 minutes. I'm not sure if we're going to go the whole 8 minutes. I'll kind of just see how this works. But we're just going to go quality, so meaning that the clock is just going to run and you're just going to go through these movements. We're going to start with 5 air squats. Then you're going to go 5 push-up to down dog. Then you're going to go 10 knuckle draggers, meaning that we're going to go into that straight leg, bent leg, scoop. So we're going to go 10 total, meaning 5 each leg, but you're going to alternate legs. So when we do this, that front leg is straight, the toe is pointed up, and then we're hoping to drag our knuckles over.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah.
If not, it can just look like a nice scoop of whatever. Okay, after those 10 knuckle draggers, then we're just going to go 10 small hops. You can do those laterally. You can do those forward and back, or you can just stay in the same spot. Just getting those calves warmed up for our jump rope. So I'm going to start the clock. Remember, we're going to go potentially 8 minutes. I'm thinking more like 5. Okay. Maybe. There we go. All right, Bernie, in 10 seconds, you're going to start with 5 air squats. Remember, when we get into that air squat position, we just want to make sure, okay, that our feet are hip width apart. Toes are just slightly turned out. Go for it, Bernie. You got 5 air squats.
Oh.
Yep. Holy moly. They are the hardest.
Yep.
Oh.
Knees are tracing out, and we're pressing out with the feet as well as the knees. All right, we're going to go 5 push-up to down dog. So our push-up to down dog starts in that nice plank. Okay, we get into that nice solid push-up. Remember, we can always go onto our knees if we need, and then we go into that down dog. Our down dog is both palms on the floor, pressing the head through like you would see in a yoga class. Good. Remember, this is for quality, so we're not moving for speed this morning. Well, for right now, we aren't.
Oh, that shouldn't be a problem.
All right, and then after you get those 5 push-up to down dogs, we're going to do those knuckle draggers again, counting every time. There it is. We just make it warm up. Good. Beautiful. Good. Nice and slow here. And then after those 10 total knuckle draggers, you're just going to go into 10 small hops. We want feet together. We want a nice soft knee, right? We can start getting those ankles loose, those knees kind of ready for our body weight to land on them. Good. And then we're just going to go again and again until that time is up. So back to the 5 air squats. Good, Bernie, I want you to take a look out in front of you. You're looking at the ground, right? We want to keep the chest tall. That's better. Our body goes where our eyes go. So if I take a look at the ground, it's going to be really easy for me to do this. But if I can look at something just a little bit higher, I'm going to be able to squat with my chest tall. All right, let's go into those 5 push-up to down dogs. All right, Bernie, after those push-up to down dog. Oh, yep, we're going into your knuckle draggers.
Little bunny foo-foo, hop into the forest.
Okie doke.
All right. Let's go one more round, Bernie.
Sure.
Sure. There we go. Good. There you go.
You guys programmed it before night. And you guys were like, well, I looked at them. Nice, Bernie. There you go. Scoop.
Did you find the floor yet, Bernie? Did you find the floor yet?
The floor? Oh, with my hand?
Yeah.
No, not a chance in hell. I'm within 4 inches. How's that?
Hey, that's good.
The leg is straight.
Good. We're just getting that backside stretched out.
All right, go ahead and rest. We just did 5 minutes.
Okay.
I think that'll be good. All right, Bernie, we are going to go into a dumbbell warm-up. So go ahead and grab your dumbbells. You can do double dumbbells for right now. We're going to start with the back squat. Oh, so I guess just, yeah, take one. Go ahead and place it on the back of the neck. We're going to start with 5 good mornings. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's Friday.
I have no idea. So, yeah, just go into that good morning position, right? Good. So dumbbell just sits on the back of the neck, soft knees, and we're driving the hips back. What we don't want to see is a loose midline, and we don't want to see a big arch in the back either direction.
Well, I'll move to the side so you can't see me.
What's up?
Then I'll move to the side so you can't see me.
All right, then we're going to go into 5 back squats. So you'll keep that dumbbell there. You're just going to shift the hips back and down, keeping that nice upright torso. We do have thrusters today, so we want to make sure, okay, that when we go into the squat, that we're not letting our torso cave over. Okay, after that, we're going to go into 5 strict press. If you have double dumbbells, you'll go 5 total. If you have single ones, then you'll just do 5 each arm. Good, Bernie. You got some yellow dumbbells.
Yeah, these are nice little 8-pounders.
Nice.
Nice. That's perfect.
After that 5th one, we're going to stay in the front rack position. If you have a single dumbbell, you can go goblet. If you have double, we're just looking for that front rack position. We're going to go 5 front squats.
music because I don't listen to my music. That's great.
Good. All right, then we're going to go into 5 RDLs. So just like we would with a barbell, we're just going to keep that weight close to our legs, okay? An RDL is very similar to a deadlift, but we don't bend at the knee. We just keep a soft knee and shoot the hips back. So we only go until our body kind of tells us that we want to start rounding in the back. And when that kind of alerts us, that's when we stop and come right back up. All righty. And then after that 5th one, we are going to go into some mobility. We're going to start with our ankle stretch. This one is the one we do on the floor. Okay, we can use a weight if you decide to. We can just put that guy on your thigh. If not, we want our body weight to go to that deep lunge. This is about the only time we're really going to tell you to drive the knee completely over the toe while keeping the heel grounded. While you're here, you can kind of shift from side to side if that feels good for you. Kind of opening up the back of the ankle, the Achilles, the low calf. Good. We're going to hold this guy for about a minute, and then we'll switch legs, and then we'll go into a upper body stretch. All right, go ahead and switch legs. Nice. All righty, guys. We're going to go into a wall shoulder stretch. So if you have a piece of wall, you can just put your hands on it, okay, as so, and then you're just going to drop the head through. So basically, we're just opening up that overhead position. So that way, when we go into our jerks, your shoulders are ready. While you're here too, if you want, you can kind of wiggle your hips from side to side, or even walk your feet or walk your feet back and forth, right, to kind of get a deeper stretch in the legs as well. Like a little bunny.
That was like our with the kiddos yesterday.
Yeah.
Pokey pokey.
The hokey pokey. All right, Bernie, come on out of that. All right, we are going to go into our movement prep. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through that dumbbell complex that we're going to hit in our first piece, and then we'll kind of get everything else warmed up, and then we'll go back to it. So what we're going to start off with is the movement pattern, and then we'll go into the pauses and break it down a little bit. Today, what we want to focus on is bracing and breathing. We are working with a lighter load, right, during our complex. So the weight or the movement really shouldn't be that difficult. So what we want to teach ourselves today is how we brace in the midline and how we can breathe through the movement to help us accelerate a little bit better, to help us move through that movement with a little bit more ease. So we're going to start with 5 deadlifts. Bernie, if you want to grab your PVC pipe, you can go ahead and do that. If anybody out there that's watching is doing it with dumbbells or even a kind of a bar or a broom, or whatever, same positions are gonna they're gonna be the same. Yeah, they're gonna apply to whatever you're using. We just want to make sure. So we're gonna start with just 5 deadlifts. Okay, so if we are with a PVC pipe or a broom, you're only going from mid shin. Okay, if you have a dumbbell, you can touch at the bottom. So we're just gonna go 5 deadlifts. Good. We're going to go 5 jump shrugs. Okay. So we just want to go from the hang position right now, and we're just going to shrug at the shoulder. So what we want to see is a triple extension, meaning the ankles, the knees, and the hips are all open. Beautiful. After those 5 jump shrugs, we're going to go into 5 high pulls, meaning that the elbows are now going to bend. Okay. They're going to go high into the outside. Bar is going to go about to nipple height. It doesn't want to get any higher because then we've pulled way too high. All right, then we're going to go into 5 hang cleans. So we're actually going to turn over and drop underneath that bar or even your dumbbells if you're using something as so. Remember, in the receiving position, we want to receive with our hips back and our elbows tall. Good. From that last 5th hang clean, we're going to go into 5 push presses. With our push press, okay, we dip and then we explode through the hips and our feet don't move. So this is a little bit different from a push jerk, okay, meaning that we have to get a big aggressive hip and then we have to press that bar over. Yeah, good. So when we receive it, we want to lock out and then come back down. Now we're going to go into 5 push jerks. Okay, so we're going to dip, drop, and stand. Good. We want to punch the sky as hard as we can while receiving in that bent knee, hip back position. Cool. Beautiful. For any of my advanced people, if you are watching, you're more than welcome to split jerk today if that's something you want to focus on. Remember, when we split jerk, one foot goes in front of the other at an angle, the back foot drops out, you receive on the ball of your foot, okay, while the front foot is flat. Cool. So we're going to go into the complex that we're looking for. Okay, so we're going to go 2-second pause, 1 inch off the ground. Okay, if that is with a dumbbell, right, we're just going to go into kind of like a slight up position. Okay, my people that are using a barbell or that, we're just going to go, if you were working from the ground, you would just lift off just slightly. Okay, so it's just a slight movement. So we're going to pause there. So Bernie, go ahead and pause in that 1 inch from the ground. Okay, can you scoot back just a little bit? There we go. Okay, yeah, go into it just so I can see. Good. Okay, from there, okay, we're going to go into a 2-second pause at the knee. So you're just going to raise your hips and your shoulders at the same time. Beautiful. So that's 1. We're going to go back down to the 1 inch from the floor. Pause for 2 seconds. 1, 2. Raise up to the knee. 1, 2. That's 2. We're going to go down. 1, 2. And then back up to the knee. 1, 2. Now we're going to find the mid-hang position. Okay, so right after the pause at the knee, mid-hang position here. Okay, so we're going to raise up the hips and the shoulders. This time the shoulders move up more than the hips, obviously. Okay, so find that mid-hang position. Higher. That's the knee. That's still the knee, I would say. There. Okay, mid-hang position, 2 seconds. 1, 2. And then we're going to completely clean it and we're going to receive in the squat position. And we're going to pause. 1, 2. Stand back up. Go back down to the hang. Okay, 1, 1, 2. Clean. Receive in a squat. 1, 2. Stand. Back to the hang. This is our last one here. 1, 2. Clean and squat. 1, 2. Now when we stand, we're going to stay in the front rack position. Now we're going to pause in the bottom of the dip. Okay, so that means when we go into that dip, we're going to pause here. 1, 2. And then we're going to pause in the receiving position for 2. Okay, so let's see the dip. 1, 2. Now jerk. 1, 2. Stand back to the starting position. We're going to dip, pause for 2. 1, 2, and jerk. 1, 2. Good. Stand. Beautiful. Last one here. We're going to dip. So Bernie, I want your dip to be slighter. That's like almost a half squat. So just slight dip. Beautiful. 1, 2, and jerk. 1, 2. Beautiful. And stand. So that would be 1 set. Okay. We're going to do 5 of those when we are in that complex. Okay, does that make sense?
Sorta.
Yeah, I'll be doing the exact same thing with you, and Julie can kind of guide you through that. But remember, guys, we're gonna do 3 of each section, okay, one after another. So you're always gonna go a 2-second pause, 1 inch from the ground, to a 2-second pause at knee, then go back. So we're really just working that movement, right? The first pull off the ground. You're gonna do 3 of those. Then you're gonna go straight into what our hang squat clean would look like. Okay, you're gonna do 3 of those. Then you're gonna move on to what the jerk would look like. Okay, if you're doing this at home, I would suggest just recording yourself and really looking after you do a whole set, looking back at it and making sure that those positions are what we're asking for. Like in the bottom of the deadlift, that your hips and shoulders are moving at the same time. You guys know the drill that we've done where we put the PVC pipe on our backs, right? Whenever we're like shifting and moving, you should know or notice that in those movements, right? Julie's not just shooting her hips up. She's moving the hips and the shoulders at the same time. So that's a main focus that we want to see in the deadlift. In the hang into the squat clean, right? We want the extension of the shoulders and the quick drop underneath. Good. Okay, and then in the push or in the jerk, we want to make sure that when we dip that we're not letting the torso hinge too much. The dip, that torso should be straight up and down. All that's happening is that the knees are going to the outside. If Julie turns, you can see that the knees are pushing out and the knees aren't moving forward. And then the receiving position is the exact same. Cool. All right, so we're gonna go back into our movement prep for the workout 2, which is very similar to what we just did, except for now there's no pausing. So we're gonna go into some dumbbell power cleans. All we're looking for is the focus of bracing and breathing. So we wanna make sure we load or that we can brace our midline by kind of pressing through the belly, okay? Your belly should kind of like lock down or in, I guess you would say. But that breath, you wanna hold it as we're here. As you exhale, you will completely exhale when you get into the front rack position, okay? So we're gonna go 5 power cleans from the floor, or one head of the dumbbell just needs to touch the floor. So go for it, Bernie. 5 power cleans. Good. Yeah, you should be able to hear your own breath. That's it. Good. So remember, Bernie, when we want to receive here, not like this. Hips back. One more for me. So your knees are just slightly going a little bit forward. So just remember, hips back. Okay, then we're going to go into 3 front squats. Okay, getting ready for our thrusters. So when we're in that front rack position, we just want to make sure that the elbows are tall or that the tricep is nice and straight or kind of vertical to the floor. We are going to go into 3 push press. So we're going to dip and drive. Good. An I, not a Y, Bernie. There you go. Good. Then we're going to go into 3 push jerks. So we're going to dip, drop, and stand. Good. Dip, drop, and stand. All right. We are going to go into 3 thrusters. So we're going to go front squat all the way overhead. Good. All right. Go ahead and put those dumbbells down. We are going to go into our jump rope real quick. So we're just going to go about 15 to 20 seconds of nice and easy single unders. Remember, with our jump ropes today, we want to make sure that we can focus on our breathing. A lot of things happen when we're jumping, and breathing sometimes isn't one of them. Sometimes we just forget. So we want to focus on just keeping a calm sense whenever we're double undering. or jump roping in general, because if we hold our breath trying to make sure that the rope is going around, then we can't perform anything else because we haven't taken a breath. So let's go about 15 seconds of nice and easy single. Oh, there you go. You can move forward on your jump ropes.
Yeah, a lot of springs, morning.
Good. All right, and then my people that are watching, if you want to go into some double under practice, go ahead and do that. Bernie, we're going to stick to your 45 singles, okay? If that works for you.
Yeah.
Or we're just going to go 30 seconds of work, okay? So we don't want to take a lot of time today on our jump rope. The real work is the dumbbell movements or the weighted movements. So if you are kind of like flustering with your dubs, just work for that 30 seconds or the 45 singles today. Cool. All right, we are going to go back to our dumbbell complex or that PVC pipe complex, and we're going to go into our actual work here. All right. You ready, Bernie? Grab that PVC pipe. All right. So we're going to start in the bottom position, okay? So the bottom of the deadlift.
Yeah.
We're going to pause just 1 inch off the ground, okay, for 2 seconds. 1, 2. Then we're going to move up to the knee. 1, 2. Now back down. 1, 2. And up to the knee. 1, 2. And back down. 1, 2. And up to the knee. 1, 2. Now we're going to slightly go into the hang. 1, 2. Full squat clean. Hold at the bottom of the squat. 1, 2. And stand back to the hang. 1, 2. Full squat clean. 1, 2. And stand. Beautiful. Last one here into the hang. 1, 2. Full squat clean. 1, 2. And stand. We're going to pause in the dip and then the receiving position, right? We're going to pause in the dip and go. 1, 2. Jerk. 1, 2. Pause, stand. Good. And back into the dip of the jerk. 1, 2, jerk. Pause. 1, 2, stand. And back into the front rack and dip. 1, 2, and jerk. Pause. 1, 2, and stand. Beautiful. That's one set. Okay, we're going to rest for a few seconds, probably around 30 to 45 seconds is good. If you're using weight, guys, pause or rest for probably like a minute in between each one just to make sure you are recovering. How's that feel, Bernie? Is that okay?
Peachy
Okay,
keen.
good.
The knees were saying, oh, thank you, Bernie. Thank you, Bernie.
All right, go ahead and get started. Bernie, will you turn to the side for me? Thank you. All right, we're gonna go to the bottom of the deadlift, okay? And then we're gonna come up 1 inch off the ground. Pause for 2, 1, 2, and to the knee. 1, 2, and back down. 1, 2, and stand, to the knee. 1, 2, and back down. Last one here. 1, 2, to the knee. 1, 2. Good. Now we're moving to the hang position. Okay. Hang. 1, 2. Full squat clean. Pause in the squat. 1, 2, and stand. Beautiful. And back to the hang. 1, 2, and full clean. Pause. 1, 2, and stand. Good. Last one here. We're into the hang position. Good. So Bernie, shift your shoulders a little bit further further, hips. That's it. Good. You're going to load the ball of your foot. And then we're going to full squat clean. 1, 2, and stand. Good. Stay in the front rack position. Stay in the front rack position. Good. We're going to pause in the dip for 2 seconds. Dip. 1, 2, and jerk. Pause in the receiving. 1, 2, and stand. Good, Bernie. That looks really nice. All right. We're going to, nope, go into the front rack. Front rack. All right. We're going to dip. 1, 2, and jerk. 1, 2, and stand. Last one here. We're going to dip. 1, 2, and jerk. 1, 2, and stand. Beautiful. That's set 2. We've got 3 more. It's too much for. All right, Bernie, we're just going to do one more for you, okay?
Oh, okay. I'm good.
Okay.
Gonna save them knees for you, Bernie.
Okay.
So remember, Bernie, in the bottom of the deadlift, or like when we're getting set up here, remember that our shoulders want to be slightly over the bar, okay?
Okay.
So I don't want you to sit up like this. That's not a really good standing position. It kind of loads the back of your foot rather than kind of your full foot. So
Gotcha.
just think about your shoulders coming over just a little bit more.
So it's slightly different than a conventional deadlift, right?
Yeah.
A regular deadlift, you want your posterior chain loaded. For the cleans, we want to be in the ball of the foot, so we have that big snappy drive.
Okay.
Snap that booty, Bernie.
All right, we're going to go for this one. We're going to start at the bottom of that deadlift or the clean, okay? Good. A little more tilt in the hips and the shoulder. Yeah, that's it. Okay, pause. 1, 2. We're going to the knee. 1, 2. Now back down. 1, 2, and up. 1, 2, and back down. Last one. 1, 2, and back to the knee. 1, 2. Go straight into the hang. 1, 2, and full squat clean. Pausing in the hole. 1, 2, and stand. Good. We're back to the hang. Pause. 1, 2. Full squat clean. 1, 2, and stand. Good. Last one here. Into the hang. Remember, we want to lock the lats back. And 1, 2. Full clean. 1, 2, and stand. Good. Stay in the front rack position. We're going to go into the dip for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and jerk. Pause. 1, 2, and stand. Good. We're going to pause in the dip. 1, 2, and jerk. Pause. 1, 2, and stand. Last one here. We're going to pause in the dip. 1, 2, and jerk. 1, 2, and stand. Beautiful, guys. Very good. Beautiful work, Bernie.
Thank you. Oh.
For the workout, are you going to use those 8-pound dumbbells?
Probably because the thrusters, that left arm will wear out, you know.
That's good.
Perfect. Cool. Awesome. So again, I'm just going to kind of revisit it. So 12 minutes will be on the clock. You'll work for that full 12 minutes. You're just going to increase your rep scheme by 2 every time. So just kind of remember whatever rep scheme you have. If you have a paper, you can definitely mark off 2, 4, 6, 8, blah, blah, blah. Jump ropes stay the exact same. So Bernie, you're doing 45 singles or 30 seconds of work. Maybe shoot for just 30 singles. That would probably work. And Bernie, if you start feeling like your low back is hurting or something isn't feeling good on the cleans, because we're going from the floor, just go from the hang.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, just like if at any point you just start feeling like that's probably not a good idea, just work from the hang position and that'll be fine.
Yeah, if I start feeling old, I'll let you know.
Perfect. All right, Bernie, I'm going to get the set, or I'm going to get the clock. I'm going to set the clock. Clock set.
Clock set. Set clock.
Do you have your water? Are you all good?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm getting squared away. I actually have my water out here now.
Isn't it? Right. All right, so we're going to start with rep scheme 2, 2, and then jump ropes. All righty, let's get this party started in 10 seconds. In 3, 2,